Just want to share some thoughts today before I play the hymn for the day. I've been reading the book You Are What You Love and really coming across some really great things that are giving me things to think about and to apply to my life. And one thing in the book is the thought of cultivating habits in our life. Of course, we want those things that are true and good and beautiful. But we as musicians also cultivate habits in our lives, in our playing, in our practicing. And we, of course, need to be careful of the things that are tendencies or bad habits, and you know what they are. I've got my own little list, and they wreck our playing. They wreck the progress we're trying to make, and they keep us in a state of non-growth. And sometimes that's okay. It's just a speed bump. It's not forever, but part of that is being careful for what we cultivate in our mind, what we think of ourselves, what we think of our playing. And those are bad thoughts. They can be discouraging. I'm very guilty of that. But what we need to remember is that one bad day does not make a bad life. We need to reset the links in our life. We talked about that earlier in one of my earlier hymn videos, the links in our life. And you only have one life, so don't waste your time. Don't give the soil of your heart and your mind over to the things that are not cultivating goodness or truth or beauty in your life. It'll take time, but you'll get there. You are worth more than gold to God, and He has set your purpose. He has a plan for your life. All we have to do is show up and say, yes, Lord. And cultivating imagination also in your playing. Now, that is part of improvisation. It can be playing your favorite songs and letting your fingers move without thinking, and your air, letting all of that play out the way that you want it to in the moment. But cultivate your imagination. Use those things in your life that bring you joy and inspiration. In this book, I found a couple of things that I want to share. There was a story of two stonecutters. You may have heard this story. And each one is asked what they're doing. They're both sitting there cutting the stone. And one of the stonecutters responds, I'm cutting this stone in a perfectly square shape. And he's doing his work and he's thinking about the square, the perfect square. The other responds, cutting a stone, I'm building a cathedral. Two very different thought processes in that story. So which stonecutter are you in your playing? I want to be like the one that has the attitude he's building a cathedral. So I'm going to play a hymn for you today. I want to walk as a child of the light. I want to follow Jesus. God set the stars to give light to the world. The star of my life is Jesus. I want to see the brightness of God. I want to look at Jesus, clear Sun of righteousness, shine on my path and show me the way to the Father. I'm looking for the coming of Christ. I want to be with Jesus. When we have run with patience the race, we shall know the joy of Jesus. And the refrain for those verses, in Him there is no darkness at all. The night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus. So let's cultivate those things today.